Very good afternoon to everyone who's present here today. I, Aarti Daga, architect and academician and managing committee member of CDCP India, the Confederation of Digital Construction Practitioners, warmly welcomes each one of you to be part of the third session of Digital Built India Extensions. As a part of Digital Built India Virtual Extension, this is our third session. The second session was an open mic session. We've had one more lecture or session prior to this one today. We have with us on board practicing professionals from the AECO industry. So this platform actually helps us to engage with industry experts, stalwarts from the industry express their thoughts and experiences and helps us to engage and understand their best practices. The Confederation of Digital Construction Practitioners India, who has organized this session, is a national society and is community focused, vendor neutral, not for profit organization that promotes adoption of technologies and processes. We are also the Building Smart India chapter, which is a national level initiative of CDCP India in collaboration with Building Smart International, which aims at promoting the use of open BIM standards and interoperability across the life cycle of any built environment. We would now like to play a 2-minute video of the CDCP India. I request Arun to kindly play the video. So this was just to give you a run through of what CDCP has been thinking of, what we look at and what we intend to do in the future. Just before we start, just a few things we would like to share from our end that we in the recent past, that is in December 2023, had our first annual event, Digital Built India 2023. This is especially for the ones who are attending with us for the first time. DBI 2023 was a vendor neutral event. It gave an opportunity to technology, services, academics, and construction firms to present an open, collaborative, and interoperable perspective on technology, people, purposes, and implementation. Now, as an extension of Digital Built India, we have launched three specific programs. one of which is Digital Build India Virtual Extension webinars to present case studies and success stories of industry stalwarts. We also have the Digital Build India extensions, which will be the open mic series to undertake community initiatives at stakeholder levels. We are also launching DBI regional extensions, which will have a small audience, regional physical. So it's going to be a regional physical event for people to attend who are interested in these kind of areas. For today's session, along with me, we have Mr. Sunil Joshi, who is Secretary CDCP India and Director and CEO of Digitrop Pune. Mr. Sunil is going to have conversations and interactions with Mr. Sandeep Desai. We have also Mr. Arun Kumar, who is the Managing Committee member of CDCP India, who is handling the logistics of the event, and Ms. Pradnya Raut, who is part of the community management team, also helping us at the back end work. So today, let us start with today's interesting session by Mr. Sandeep Desai. Before we start, a brief introduction of Mr. Sandeep Desai. Mr. Sandeep Desai is the Executive Vice President, Information and Process Group of AFCONS Infrastructure Limited. Mr. Sandeep Desai has 40 plus years of experience in global IT services, serving in various capacities. Built solutions for many industry verticals, namely manufacturing, banking, infrastructure, media, retail, automotive. He has handled various projects across the globe, India, USA, and others. He has several research papers and publications too, some of which I will just call out because they're very interesting. So, one talks about software testing, a practical approach, a book published by PHI India, New Delhi. He also has another interesting release, which is ERP to E2RP, released by PHI India, New Delhi. He also has written and illustrated in UML modeling for business analysts. So there has been a lot of work done by Mr. Sandeep Desai, and we are extremely glad that we have a very high post vice president who's going to, from AFCONS Infrastructure Limited, going to share his wonderful experience with our audience today. Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep Desai, for accepting our invitation and helping us to take this session with all the people present here. Thank you so much. So over to you.
Yeah, Mr. Desai, you can switch your camera on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Very happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thanks, CDCP, for inviting me to deliver this lecture.
Wonderful. You can share your screen and sir get started. Maybe as you get started, probably to big if you can, I think it's a Saturday. All of us are here, and people have pulled out time. So we definitely are excited to learn from your experience. So we just don't want it to be a pure technical, but we also want to have a bit of a fun and lot of learnings in terms of as we have built up our career. So, maybe how you would have started your career, kind of vision that you had in AFCONS, also the business challenges generally AFCONS have and the kind of projects that you do. So maybe, with that note, I'll leave you to kind of enlighten us and, probably guide us with, with reference to, you kind of what you're doing at AFCONS and also your journey so far, in terms of implementing projects and initiative related to the digital enterprises, etc. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, I've been in the industry for last 40 plus years and handled various projects in India as well as abroad. I began my career in 1982 with Tata's flagship company at that time, Nilco, and then switched over to many companies, many industry verticals. And now that I'm with AFCONS, the journey was very exciting in terms of building up their entire digital platform and how it can be useful to enable their businesses. So I'm sure 3:30 on Saturday is a boring time, is a time where people would like to take a nap. But I will make this session very interesting by sharing my thoughts and what happens at the project levels also, and how digitization is very interesting story. So let me start with the digital journey of AFCONS. Is the screen visible? So digital experience, digital journey with AFCONS experience I would like to share. Before that, let me just give a glimpse of AFCONS, what it is. I'm sure all this information you may get it on uh, AFCONS website also. AFCONS is, but I'll just take up few pointers. AFCONS is there since 1959, so 65 years of legacy. And now since 2000, it's a part of very well-known group, Shapoorji Pallonji. AFCONS has done a lot of work in the areas of metro construction, bridges, tunnel, and so on. The statistics, you can see it on the right-hand side, as well as on the website. And interestingly, AFCONS is rated in ENR magazine of USA as leaders in marine globally. 10th, it is ranking 10th in the global arena, 13th or 12th on the bridge construction, and so on. So AFCONS has many, many things to share in the industry, and also AFCONS is also unique in picking up their projects, famous for doing complex projects, which I'll be showcasing some of them. Typical areas of operations for AFCONS are, we are into marine and industrial. Surface transport basically deals with roads and rails. Urban infrastructure, metros and bridges and flyovers. Oil and gas, onshore as well as offshore platforms we build in oil and gas. And hydro and underground, which is construction of barrages, dams, water segment also we are there, and tunnels. Sorry. We coined the term extreme engineering. The reason is we have done some of the marquee projects in the India as well as abroad. Some of them I will be just mentioning. Like these days, you are, world's highest single arc railway bridge in Jammu Kashmir, which is Chenab, a very famous name these days, what you hear. The next is Atal Tunnel, which is, I have written here JV with straw bag, the world's longest highway tunnel at 10,000 feet above sea level in Himachal Pradesh. One of the world's deepest port in Sohar, in Oman, that is in Sohar, we have done. India's first underwater metro tunnel below Hubli River in Kolkata, recently inaugurated by our Prime Minister. Fastest hill road project in NHI history, Jammu and Kashmir. India's longest rail bridge in Kerala. India's largest underground metro station in Chennai. We have done, as I said, the metro tunnel and the deepest underground metro station in Calcutta. So we have done many projects in India as well as abroad. In West Africa, we have done fastest port project. In Dubai, we have done largest race course and so on. And the latest one, which we're building up in India, which is India's first undersea bullet train project for Maharashtra region, starting from I think near Kalyan till BKC. So AFCONS has international presence, largely with Middle East, Africa, India, and some part of Sri Lanka, Nepal. For vision, AFCONS has set their vision 2027 to achieve 25,000 crore by 2027. out of which 50% turnover we are expecting from international projects, 6% PBT, and subcontracting of 30%. At the same time, we want to be top 10 globally, safety measures. For this, we have underlined our strategic imperatives. So proactive business development, extensive drive on cost management, and so on. One of the most strategic imperative we have kept was adoption of leading digital technologies. AFCONS is having IT presence, which I have been seeing since post 1980 also. And they were always interested in making IT to enable their businesses, whether it is a support function or whether it is a primary function, be it. Now, when we talk about 2027 vision, of course, there are challenges. The first challenge, what we can see, is the efficient and sustainable processes. Now, if you look at, and all of you will agree, that construction industries are not business process savvy, because their business processes or core businesses are not dependent on business processes or technology like what we see in BFSI or manufacturing industries. And therefore, how do I implement these processes and how do I sustain them is a big question mark for construction industry. Ongoing regulatory pressures. So all of you are aware that stringent HSE process reporting, we have many international countries to deal with. Each African country, each Middle East country has their own regulation, has their own laws. How do I deal with that? At the same time, in India, also, each of the project has different type of documentation, different type of rules. So that's going to be the biggest challenge in managing. Lack of adoption of core systems. So technology in adopting the core system itself in some of the projects as a practice in infrastructure industry, what I've seen is it's not very well received, and we need to have a lot of push to ensure that yes, you have to adopt the system. Scarcity of labor and trained staff is going to be another issue where staffs are skill sets for important areas. What I've seen is design and planning is a big challenge. Getting workforce for normal day-to-day work also is really an issue. Lack of motivation. Working at remote sites or offshore projects is a big challenge. I mean, for a qualified engineer or postgraduate engineer, I mean, why they always have a question. Why do we stand in sun? Why do we work here? While we can get a better job in ACs, we can get better job in IT. So why do we work? So it's not the best place to work. So how do we make this place as motivated? How do we make this place as real happening place? So that's going to be the challenge going ahead. So I was always thinking, can technology play an important role for developing an infrastructure in such a way that it will take care of employee well-being? See what efficiencies we can cover in and address them, improve the performance of the organization. So with this, I felt that technology adoption is going to be the key for delivery and performance of infrastructure systems. So on that note, I came across a very interesting diagram in 2016 from McKinsey. The credits are also given here. which is the process, business process mapping for their for EPC companies. Sorry. And these dots represents each and every, some of the big dots represents a larger systems. Like what you see here is BIM, which is a larger system, 3D modeling, while you can see design management, although very important, but it's a part of, again, modeling system. So you have a very complex diagram here from McKinsey. And what we have done is we tried to simplify for how do I adopt the same thing for our for our organization. And the upper place, what you are seeing, these are the systems which are nothing but already many companies they cover: finance, accounts, taxation, and so on, construction equipment, resources, engineering and design, governance, that is internal audit, legal and contracts, and the supply chain. While the main important systems, which are front office facing systems, are schedule management. How do I schedule my projects? How do I make sure that document delivery is on time? My documentation is properly maintained, which we are calling it as either design documentation or client communication, which is, we call it as EDMS, is in place or not. E-learning and knowledge management is one of the systems which was typically boosting the performance of the employee, the taking care of the lack of their motivation. How do I boost them? So with the help of knowledge management, by just seeing at the remote place whole day internet, can they learn something on their own? So knowledge management could be the answer for that. E-learning could be the answer, where they can enhance their skills for their own betterment. So we talk about host of systems here, where there are many systems are in place, and we have implemented most of them. Some of them are interesting to discuss, which I'll be discussing in detail, and you can ask me questions on that. And so let's go quickly. So although I have written here 6 projects are live on BIM journey up to 4D, which is MG Setu Bihar, Male, Missing Link Lonavala, GCPL Dahej, Bilaspur, DC07. 50% of these projects are on are EPC projects, like GCPL is EPC, Missing Link is also EPC project. Apart from this, we are working on next 2 projects, which is Bangalore Metro Elevated, another EPC project, and also the Raghavpur, which is in Madhya Pradesh, a dam project, which is also an EPC project. So these 2 projects we have picked up for BIM. I think Sunil, you have to give me some time to load a proper PPT where I've included some of the slides, if you don't mind.
Sure. You do kind of, do you want to kind of locate that PPT and then reshare again?
Yeah, so I need to come out of this PPT. So
stop sharing and then start. I think it's all fine, sir. I mean, we are all a part of the same community, so we can be flexible as well.
No, it's okay. I mean,
yeah, we can keep talking. By the time you pull out your slide, I think you know, you I think you're resharing again. No, not now. Just try to do that again.
I think my share, one sec. So there are three initiatives which are created way of working for AFCONS. Okay. And I want to be, and these are very close to my heart. One of them is, first is BIM, second is IoT, and third is knowledge service. So BIM, as we discussed, we have taken up 7 projects up to 4D. The 5D is almost there, where linking up with the cost, that is internal cost as well as client facing cost, that is how much it is going to be costing for the client. That's the billing part. Okay, so that is also ready, where we have integrated with our ERP system and to be rolled out from April 2024. IoT journey, which is another interesting thing what we picked up, is major equipment challenger LMVs are 100% equipped with IoT sensors. We have done one very unique thing. Just by doing IoT, we just didn't keep quiet. We established 24/7 call center at Nagpur and ensured that this call center will monitor all our equipment, major equipment, so that in case, let's say, transit mixer is just standing there, a call will straight away go to the construction plant person saying that why is it standing there? What is the problem? So that you can monitor each and every equipment real time. One interesting thing which has happened is fuel theft drastically dropped down, I would say, by 95%. The first month, we had a very big challenge where our drivers refused to work, saying that ये कुछ भलता ही लेके आया इन लोग, which is monitoring our fuel, and therefore we will not work. And then the message went up to the top management. They all said, nothing doing, we will be implementing this particular initiative. Those who want to work, they will work, otherwise they can go home. After that, everybody started working, and today we have a lot of appreciation from the project managers, from everybody, and we could see fuel theft is dropping. We are also implementing end-to-end fuel dispensing units. That is, fuel when it is being dispensed out from Indian Oil, which is being collected in our equipment, how we can 100% automate. So we have done this in 3 projects, and which is pretty successful. And the best part is, I don't have to prepare what is called as a material issue voucher. It goes straight away to my SAP saying that this is what we have consumed. So this was my second pet project. And the last project, which was for knowledge service, knowledge management, which was implemented in 2012. So 12 years back. At this point of time, all the kickoff workshop for all the projects, whenever we get a new project, we ensured that kickoff projects happen only through knowledge management. For all the project, lessons learned are compulsory and loaded on KM portal. There are many features which we have built in on the KM portal, and knowledge management portal has become live wire for the organization. And one most admired knowledge enterprise, not once, but 8 times in a row, that is consecutive till date. Supplementing to this, we have done e-learning, which was also implemented in 2012. And now this e-learning becomes my competency framework. So what are the implementation challenges? A man, you can see, wants to go to moon or sun. But the challenge is only one. That's what I feel. And that's a change management. Rest is our work. Rest is IT's work. Rest is technology work. To put hard work to bring this change management in reality. Looking back, my own analysis, what didn't go well, what went well, and what can be improved. So what didn't go well, I'll take it on me. Picking up the right skill, technology, partner, sometimes correct solutioning, and all this caused delay at times. So sometimes I failed in giving the solution, picking up the right skills, correct technology also, choosing the correct partners, which was very important, and hence we delayed the solution. What went well? Buying in from leadership team. That was most important thing for me. That is convincing the leadership team. Now, when you talk about convincing the leadership team, there are two things which we need to do. One is the quick returns what you can give, or we call it as a how low hanging fruits can be enabled. And second is cultural. That means how cultural shift I can bring in the organization. That we need to convince the leadership team. The second most important is we involved all the stakeholders and met their expectations. That means we involved all the stakeholders up to the last engineer, up to the last foreman. For knowledge management, we involved a foreman who can talk in any language, be it Marathi, Tamil, and we ensured that whatever he speaks, we give him the transcript at the end so that his knowledge can be learned by the people. So what went well was really buying in from leadership team and ensuring that we give them time to time visibility what we are doing, involve stakeholders, send them flyers, make sure that we are there, we are ensuring that whatever we are doing will come as reality. What can be improved? I think we need to give good time for documentation. We need to scout for good partners. Skill development is something which is there on cards. We are discussing with HR also, and ensuring that people are motivated as well as given the right kind of emoluments, and some kind of great visibility we need to create across the organization, that how it has transformed the organization. What we felt is in the conclusion, IT should first play an important role in effectiveness, then get on to the efficiency of the organization, and finally bring the transformation. So digital journey is, according to me, effectiveness to the transformation. Now it is over to you, Sunil.
Thank you, sir. That's really crisp, and I think we really appreciate your efforts. We had informed you about also to kind of sanitize your slides and make sure that we don't have any specific technology. I really appreciate your effort in making sure that it was all in compliance and giving us that thing. We have some questions coming in, and then a lot of questions we had definitely planned for. I think I'll just take up one question which came up, and it's a hot topic in the industry today. Are you thinking on AI, generative AI? I have, I think, Day Riki, who has kind of put up this question.
Okay. We have built artificial intelligence with our BIM model. First AI we built about 3 years back, where I think I have put up this case study earlier. In MG Setu, entire project team was talking that we will complete this project by May end. And I was the only person with our project team were saying that we will finish by April end. People were not ready to believe. They were saying, Sandeep, तुम कुछ भी बात करते हो. I mean, हमारा Primavera ये बात कर रहा है. I said, नहीं, you just see. And it got over in April end, maybe 1 or 2 days here or there. Then they all sat with me asking why. Then we told them that AI was built. Here, very simple. In Primavera, you are considering Sunday holiday. You are taking your calendar. We have taken your past project progress. where we come to know that you work on Saturday, Sunday, you work for more than 12 hours. So we built those algorithms and we came to know that you can finish within 12, you can finish by 3. This is one. Second thing is, with IoT, we are building up a lot of AI tools to ensure that, right kind of signals are going to our equipment team, and ensuring that, how best they can do the preventive maintenance of the equipment. The third thing which I'm personally working on is on deep learning using the state of art product from XYZ company, and how best my learning management team can give the best to our project sites and the people who are sitting it remotely. Yeah. So these are the 3 areas which there could be many AI areas. There are very very rudimentary AI areas like, or generative AI like RPA, which is given, which is not to be spoken these days. So we are doing robotic process automation to ensuring that don't feed the invoices and etc. So those things are taken care. But
Wonderful.
these are the 3 areas where I thought we must work.
And I have one very, probably a linked question to this. So thanks. I think it's really good to hear from you, somebody who is representing the EPC community, talking about the implementation of deep learning, generative AI, picking up, data processing based on the AI feeds. So I think that sets a lot of inspiration for, I'm sure the community members who are watching and listening to this. Now, sometimes we talk about these things in boardrooms, probably in the people who sits in the corporate office and the people who stands at site, do you think somehow are you reaching out, or probably the technology initiatives that you're taking is reaching out to them? I mean, if we speak to, probably the person who's at the ground right now, is he experiencing technology?
Oh, that's a very good question. Two things we have done. One is we have made one productive. Okay, those things I have not spoken, but it is there in my famous diagram. Okay, the most complex diagram. One is we have built what is called as productivity app. Okay, where each engineer is supposed to be mentioning the cycle time of the activity. That means कितने बजे diaphragm wall चालू किया और कितने बजे complete किया. And this mobile app moves from one person to another person when they change their shift. Okay, or they can call the screens, they can call the activities whenever they are changing the shift with their mobile app also. So this is done 100%. Okay, and so reaching the technology with this, it has come. Okay. Now, what is my dream? This is nothing but which is helping your technology, which is helping your execution. How does it help as an employee for his learning curve? So what we are doing is, I have proposed giving the tabs to every employee who is at the site, project site, actually the guy who is standing there. And to elevate his knowledge, we have launched recently a portal called as Atma, ATMA, okay, automated learning, mastering applications and so on. Here, all the e-learning modules are put in. There are 52 assets we have created of anybody wants to learn about concrete technology. They can just go to Atma and look at it and build their competency. And also along with that, supplement knowledge management, where if he stuck at one particular problem, let us take is facing a problem in now Bandra high-speed rail. He can look at it, how I have solved it in Calcutta Metro. He can look at it by pressing knowledge management relevant documentation. So that we are working out how we can pass on these knowledge management assets to the last person in the organization by way of, whatever gadgets we are talking, or it's available on the mobile.
Excellent. I have one more interesting question, sir, that has come up. And then there's a linked question also. The saying that, probably in this space of technology evolution, eruptions, and probably disruption that is happening at a very, very fast rate. There's innovation happenings in small pockets as well. We have a lot of young startups who are coming up and doing these kind of innovations. And I have this question from Hamsa Vardhan. And the question is that if there's a startup who's probably working in the space of building technologies, and most of the time startup works under the constraints of funds and their own innovative ideas, and then plus learning entrepreneurial skills. Now, is there anything where AFCONS is, and I don't need a specific answer for this, but then is there anything where such startups from the construction and AECO ecosystem can look up to partnering AFCONS and probably coming out with something which can help the community at a wider level?
Okay, although you told me don't answer specific, don't give details. Not recently, 1.5 years back, I have tied up purposely startups, to do some of the innovative work, and which is being done is something I can say in confidence that it is not done by any of the construction company. So that is why I can give those. Yeah, but yes, some of them may be there right now when I'm talking. I've invited them, so they also must be listening that we have called them about 1.5 years back on board, and they are working for us.
Lovely, lovely. So I think that's a very good area, and probably
So can reach me out.
Yeah, sure. So good. And not only that, we will probably have some upcoming sessions in open mic where the community people needs help, and we will connect you there as well. So you'll have a lot of inflow coming in. So good. I think the second one more question that we have right now, I think it's the same thing. Is there any examples that you have, or probably you are doing something on the use of BIM and digitalization for health, safety, and environmental considerations within, like, because EPC, I mean, there is a concern. You were there with us in Delhi also in the British High Commission event, and everybody is worried about sustainability. With India setting up a $1.4 trillion kind of an infrastructure goal, people are concerned that what kind of carbon footprint we are talking about, and are we really leveraging technology to make it lean and efficient and all. So I mean, looking at the overall magnitude of the impact in terms of the carbon impact that the industry is going to do, I mean, how are you using technology for specifically health, safety, and environment?
To be upfront with you, at this point of time, I have not linked BIM with sustainability, but I have a roadmap in my mind, which I've discussed with the person who is heading our sustainability initiatives, and he really appreciated. But I wanted to finish this, up to 5D, 6D model, okay, and then move it to sustainability, which is very, it's not difficult. If you ask me as a technology person, it's not difficult. I mean, I know all the material which is getting into the BIM. I know what are the equipments we are deploying. It is linked with Primavera or project MS projects. And we know all kinds of resources which are getting into that. So we know what kind of carbon footprint they are bringing it out. So those things we can work it out easily with the help of BIM. But I have not done at this point of time.
Thank you. Yes. I think, I think there is another question that's coming on to this, and this is very important to set realistic expectations, because sometimes I'm a practitioner. Sometimes we come across with some clients who expect, like, I want to go to the moon in my first attempt itself, and it's okay. That may be a wrong example, but you should go to the moon in your first attempt. India has done that, but probably not keeping any step milestone, like in terms of going forward. So this basically sets a very nice tone. Now, sometimes, when we see good things happening around, people will see, okay, you're talking about something good happenings in AFCON. We also create a lot of panic button with the leadership around in the industry. They go back and they will talk to their team, Hammer, I want all my projects on BIM. Now, you have started this initiative. You have already been there at some point of time. Now, can you kind of, and then I don't know if how confidential it is, but then what percentage of your projects today have moved on to a 3D based design process, and what percentage of your projects are still, on a transitional stage?
I'll tell you, 3D based is not an issue. 3D based is there from the beginning. Like you take Chenab. Chenab is there on the 3D from the beginning. Tekla, we are doing it. So 3D is not BIM for me. Okay. So, but right now, the 7 projects which I have highlighted are all on BIM. None of them are dictated by the client that they should be on BIM.
Wonderful.
Okay. Samruddhi was on BIM from client side. Missing link was there on BIM from client side, but that we have taken it on our own now. So the projects which are going to come in future are all going to be on BIM. Right now we are running about 70 plus projects. All cannot be on BIM because some of them are on the completion. It doesn't make sense. Some of them are so linear, doesn't make sense. Okay, they are having challenges in different way. Land is not there and some other where BIM is not going to play an important role. Like I know 1.5 years is left for completing elevated Bangalore project, but it was complex. So I said, let me take up this project. Okay, so 7 projects out of 70. Okay, which I thought most important, and we have taken it on BIM. And rest, whichever are going to come, I'm going to pick them that, these are the best projects which can come in the on BIM.
Wonderful.
For example, some of the water projects, I don't want to do it on BIM.
Yeah. So I think you pointed it out rightly, and maybe my question should have been a little more rephrased. We know in terms of sometimes when you start up a journey, and we see that in the industry today we don't have even effective document management or CDE implementation in place. And there was a report in recently, one of the metro projects claiming almost like 20 close to 18% efficiency gain in terms of the time of the people being saved by having a good data environment. Now, what's your opinion and take? Like, one is we have I would say more matured digital processes, and then second one is effectively making sure that we have a common data environment which is used by stakeholders. We have a single source of truth. And so from a implementation and ROI perspective, what's your take on that?
CDE basically talks about integrated systems on a uniform platform, which brings greater control and efficiency. Now, you spoke about DMS or EDMS. AFCONS has developed their own system for document management system in 2010. The birth of this particular system has come because one of our first EPC project, which was ICPR, offshore oil and gas ONGC project, where I was told to purchase XYZ product, and I found the cost of the product was very, very high, very high. Chhod do yaar, ye paisa mujhe de do. I will develop a product for you. And we developed a product in 2010. 14 years we have been using the product. And I'm very happy today that whatever I want today, not only projects, even my supporting team, today, if I want to see a CV of my person, I take 5 minutes. If I want entire employee file, sorry, not CV, entire employee, I take 5 minutes. I just have to call up somebody saying that Mirko HR mein, I need this particular fellow's file. They give me in 5 minutes. The search is so fast that they give me 5 minutes entire file. Okay, if our HR people are there on the this particular session, I'm sure they will appreciate. So entire organization is on DMS. entire organization with 70 plus sites around DMS. Earlier, when I started developing DMS, everybody said, "Ye pagal hua." Today, the two things which comes first to me, one is, Sandeep, when you are giving us document controller, and second is, when are you giving us IT person? So IT person comes later, first document controller.
That's nice.
So,
And that's setting up a I think a priority also, and I'm sure others will take up. So, sir, I think we are on the fade end of our session. I will have one last question to you, and then Aarti will take over. And this question is also probably with reference to one of the slides you presented. And I want to have a EPC stake because it's very important. Right now India is an area where we are kind of developing our own standards. We are on the verge of putting up our standards in place, and a lot of Indian companies today are not just working on building up the enterprises to cater to India, but then they want to cater to the world in terms of going out and delivering. uh, you know what's your take on standards? Like from an India perspective, do you think that we should have our own independent standards that is more, indigenous and used for the country, or you feel that we should probably be looking at international and global standards and certifying or probably matching up our standards to that and focusing on that? So as an EPC, what's your take from a business perspective?
I think from business perspective, as far as the standards goes, there is nothing wrong in learning from outsider. Why reinvent the wheels if the things are already in place? Why can't we take them? Like whenever we have done the JVs, okay, be it Saipem, we have done the JVs with biggies like Saipem, one of the world leader. We have done the JVs with Bechtel. We have done JVs with Strawback, and we learned many things from them, and we documented. And then we said, why not? I mean, we should adopt these standards, be it in procurement, be it in costing, be it in execution. So when I was working with HCC, I learned personally a lot of things from on Nathpa project from Italian company, which is that I've forgotten the name, a very giant. And I personally feel they are good. They have developed many things. So we should go ahead and learn from them. I am looking at for AFCONS to be BEAM certified company from outsiders. Why not? I mean, take the help. Whatever standards are available, borrow them and ensure that you elevate your models. I mean, you still make your models much better and proven. So, but for BIM, if you are asking specific question to the BIM, we have done our own standards. Now, what are those standards? Let me be transparent. Let me not hide anything. We have dictated our engineering consultant that whatever models you will give us the 3D models. If you don't give 3D models, we will make it, but we will deduct money from your contract. Okay. Our reporting standards are standard now, complete standard across the project. Same review happens on the same parameters, everything same. Color coding of the BIM, 100% same. So progress, in progress, delayed, everything remains same. So whatever standardization on the visualization, reporting, talking to the external people, all these 7 projects, you will see there is no single deviation. Okay. So BIM 100% we maintain the standard. Yeah.
Thank you. Over to you, Aarti sir. I have some more questions, but I think in the interest of time, we'll kind of close it and we will answer questions offline to you guys. Yeah, Aarti, over to you.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. Very interesting session, very engaging and very enthralling. And I'm sure the audience will also appreciate this kind of combination where you have some input as a presentation and we have it as a nice, simple conversation, which keeps people there. Otherwise, presentations just go slide by slide. So thank you, Sandeep, sir. Thank you for
And
your
I'm very
knowledge.
sorry. I'm very sorry for goofing up my.
Oh, no, sir, please, you don't have to be sorry. All your experience and.
Although I was preaching about document management system, my own hard disk for last 2 days is shabby. So I'm sorry, audience. I'm sorry
So
for.
we excluded risk management discussion today.
So there has to always be a
Audience.
plan B to take it forward. Okay, so in the interest of time, I now invite Mr. Swaraj Datta, President CDCP India, to kindly thank Mr. Sandeep Desai for conducting such a fantastic session. Over to you, Mr. Swaraj.
I think Sandeep will be laughing inside or maybe smiling inside. What is this? I mean, protocol or something. But still, you deserve that. And on behalf of Confederation of Digital Construction Practitioners, CDCP India, and on behalf of the entire AECO community, including me, I am humbled to express our sincere gratitude and express thanks for sharing the digital transformation brought in one of the leading EPC of India. It is a significant contribution from an eminent, accomplished IT professional, having contributed with multiple publications in IT field. He has aptly implemented the digitalization process in the AECO. I'll say they're totally homegrown, and it is really all came out from his own IT background and the AECO sector, which has immensely benefited not only with the organization, but is an inspiring and extremely contributing to the AECO sector. At the same time, it appropriately supports the CDCP in continuing with their vision of India's strategy for inclusive data democratization. That is inspiring, which is the first letter of this I, India. And at this juncture, we feel proud and at the same time humbled to share with you all that Mr. Desai has consented to be one of the advisory council members, which ensures that he will continue to contribute towards the infrastructure digitalization for the benefit of the AECO community. We once again profusely thank Sri Desai. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Swaraj. I'm learning from Sunil to call Mr. Swaraj Dada. So I think that's an easier way and nicer way. Okay, thank you, sir. For the audience who are present here, I'm sure the session must have been extremely enriching. Just a few things. We are also having our next DBI extensions program or session on 6th April 2024. We're also launching our first regional Digital Built India virtual extension program. So it no longer remains virtual. We're adding an element of being there. We're also looking at your more involvement in these activities and initiatives which CDCP India has been taking up. So we request you, for those who have not yet become members of CDCP India, please do try and look at the website and try to pull in and be there with us. So we're looking forward to have all of you very continuously with us so that we can have a very interesting discussions. We can have more knowledge sharing platforms and discussions now on. Thank you so much, and it's been a wonderful session with all of you here. For the audience who have questions, we generally try to make it a point that you can send it to us. We will definitely forward it to Mr. Sandeep and try to get back answers to you in the best way. So that's about it. Thank you so much. Have a brilliant and lovely weekend. See you all at the next Digital Built India virtual extension session on 6th April 2024. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.